So I got a notification on my phone that said that Aldi's had these patio containers that were way cheaper but equivalent to places like Pottery Barn, and it was another place too. And I said, you know what? I have not visited Aldi's in a while, and I want to see what new things that they have in Aldi's for the garden. So let's go ahead, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing we have are these patio decking towels that you can use. But what I saw in this lady's cart was the greenhouses. And so this is a drop over greenhouse right here. And then you can also get the 4-tier greenhouse. And either or, both of them were priced at $19.99, which I thought was a good deal. They also had like a weed puller. This is all that they have left, so they must have been pretty popular for $14.99. And then they had these disc solar lights, which really tempted me, but I really need to take inventory of my own garden before I go out and just make random purchases. Now, this is, I thought, was a really good deal. The tumbling composter, this was $39.99. This is great if you want to start composting in your own garden. And then they had like different types of containers, which I'll make sure I link the container gardening guide that we have for free that you can download. So they had this one right here, and this one was $14.99. This is a reversible urn planter, but the wine barrel planter, those were $9.99. So they also had these foldable stools with bags, with the bag for $14.99, where you can like sit down and put your tools in. But they also had like different sprayers and different nozzles for your water hose, just depending on what works for you. Those were $8.99. And this right here, I thought was a pretty reasonable price. Like if you want to grow strawberries, it's a 2-pack. These are a strawberry grow bag, and these were $3.99. And so next we just had more garden tools, like different pruners that were for $4.99. They also had this foldable saw that was for $6.99 right here. And then they also had this rain chain. Now, y'all make sure you stick to the end, because I picked up one of these that we're showing you, but I wanted you to see how it looks. But these are just different garden decors that they had, different styles of the rain chain, but they also had these spring mini wreaths right here. This particular store had about 3 different varieties, and they were $6.99. This is what I got the notification on, is these wooden raised planters. They were $39.99, and they advertised them other places for like over $100, like $149. They also had this wooden plant ladder stand you can put your plants on. Those were $24.99. And they had other little garden things like the starting pellets for $3.99. They had a birdhouse for $9.99. So they also had these single dahlias. Those were $2.49. There were some other things, but they had sold out. And then you have the self-watering planter right here for $4.99. And then they had the owls for $9.99. Like if you want to kind of scare away birds, you put that up there. They also had this bee and insect house here, and those were $4.99, which I thought was really cool. The potting bench was a good price. The potting bench was $3.99. They also had some interlocking garden edging, either in black or white, 10 feet, and those were $4.99 as well. And then they have these herb planters. You get 3 is self-watering, but those were $4.99 too. If you're in the market for a water hose, these are heavy duty kink control hose. Those are $19.99, and they just had like some garden essentials, some garden ties, some garden clips right here, and some garden labels that were here. And all of these were together right here, the labels, the ties, and the clips, and those are $2.99. Okay, so moving along to like the end cap, they had the shepherd's hook. I had to pull it down because the box is small, but I guess it's in pieces and it's a double hook and it supports bird feeders as well. But I had to actually pull it down and turn it over. They had garden gloves for $6.99 as well. And then they also had some 2-pack outdoor toss pillows like on the patio, and those were $9.99. But I wanted to pull this down to see the weight because I keep telling people when you have soil, it gets heavy, but it's up to 10 pounds and it's 84 inches in height. And then they just had some Earth Day t-shirts right here, 3 different designs for $4.99. And then also for the patio, they had 2 different size rugs. These are the flat weave area rugs for indoor, also for outdoor. Now they have the 6x9 for $49.99 and the smaller one was $39.99. Now they do have some live plants that they had on a rack. Those are $10.99, but it's probably about a few days before you need to buy them because they're looking a little dry. I could not find the price on the potting mix, but they have rubber mulch nuggets for $4.99. They also had these umbrellas. It was a 9-foot aluminum umbrella, also for the patio. Lots of patio stuff, but those were $39.99. And then a fire globe. I thought was nice. I love to sit outside, especially in the fall, with a little bit of fire. But these fire globes, those were $49.99. And when I walked in, y'all, when I tell you it was so fragrant from these hyacinths, but they do still have a few rose bushes for $8.49. But I'm like, okay, they getting to where they need to. Okay, I said it. They're really getting to where they need a new home pretty soon. Next are these folding rockers for $39.99. Now the black, I didn't see any, so they just have this cream color left. So let me know in the comments. I've never heard of a sweet mock orange. It is a flowering shrub. And then they also had some trees. So they had the river birch, they had dogwood, they had maple trees, but the shrubs like the sweet mock orange was $9.99, and then the trees were $14.99. And then they also have these 4-pack plant supports right here for $4.99, especially if you need to trellis anything. Okay, so next up, they still had like some different varieties of accent rugs and some doormats if you need a new doormat. They were different prices. They range from $6.99 up to $7.99. So this is currently where it is right now. I have moved this 3 times. We'll see. I just didn't want it to look like too crowded or anything. We also have our wind chime that you may hear ever so softly in the back because it's windy today. But I like it, y'all, and I'm looking forward to hearing how it sounds when the water like starts to fill it. I think the ones that I've seen, I thought that they were, maybe you're just supposed to hear like the sounds in the bucket. I don't know. I'll let y'all know. I've seen some that actually tip over, but with this having holes in the bottoms, I don't think it really tips. But I do like it. I probably wish it maybe were in black, but that's okay. We're gonna let this do right here for our patio. And remember, y'all, I'm gonna show you once I get this patio cleaned off. Now, I was supposed to work on it today, but I ended up working in the rose garden, just trying to get some cardboard laid down since Chris cut the grass, and I don't want the grass in between the rows to start getting really high. So that's what I did, but I'm still working on the patio, and I'm also going to end up pretty soon, probably in the next couple of weeks, changing out the patio containers because we got this cilantro that's right there is going to seed, but y'all know it's certain things I like within the garden. I'm really selective about certain garden decor, but when I saw this and I had been looking at some, I was like, you know what, this is going to be a really nice addition to the patio. Hopefully I won't move it to the front because again, I've moved it like 3 times now. This is the wind chime I was telling you about, and this also, like, this lights up at night and it changes color. It's based off solar, but it really gives like a nice sound when the wind blows. So this is on this side and the rain chain is on the other side. So we'll see how everything goes. Once I get everything cleaned up and look out here and assess what I need to do, I will definitely keep y'all posted and give you a full garden tour. But if you remember the nasturtiums that we started from seed, they are starting to get flowers. We had one fall. Oops, I just broke that off. Oh man, it's okay. It's all right. Um, we got some more coming, but this is the color. But the other one failed, so I don't like. I really don't want to put any more. I think this one will be okay because this is more like a nail, if you could see, and it's way stronger. The one that this one was on right here, it wasn't, it was like on a hook, and the hook was really rusted, so I just have it right here. But we are going to change out our containers. Now I know these right here are secure, and I'm going to move this strawberry basket. Those are secure because I remember Chris last year like really reinforcing it for me because it started to actually lean a little bit, so he came in and reinforced it and put like another screw in there. But I don't want like too much on here, but I think this will be a great addition to the patio once we get it all together. So y'all make sure that you stay tuned. Probably tomorrow I'm gonna do some more work since I've ran out of the mulch. If you didn't catch our live for the rose garden, I'm gonna link it, but I ran out of the wood mulch, and I'm gonna call a couple of companies next week and see if I can get it bulk. I just had 3 bags left, so I just laid the cardboard down, wanted to get that. But so that'll give me a little leeway tomorrow. We're supposed to have nice weather to kind of work on this patio and get some of these plants planted.